I am Kesten Rono, and today you're here for day 43 of our exploration of A Course in Miracles. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your open-mindedness, bringing love and appreciation for consideration of perceiving life differently, seeing this another way, for showing up to look beyond your upsets and any way that you may be image making what you are experiencing, and being open to identifying from the perspective of your spirit, believing that finding a connection to God is the same as finding a connection to breath, life, love, truth, meaning and purpose, responsibility, opportunity, stepping away from being a victim of our own egos, clouding how we imagine, how we see with illusions, ideas of attack, ideas of defense, of upsets, horrors, war, poverty, an inherent lack, deprivation, and isolation. That we are not these things fundamentally. That an idea of unconditional love, the truth, exists. That something of this nature would be, by definition, without condition. That it would persist regardless of any other idea. That illusion could still exist, but so could the truth. And the truth, such that it is, would see right through illusion. That life would become something worth smiling about. Perfect peace, perfect happiness, freedom from worry, when it is possible to see everything around us for what it is. Well, if we are to mean more to ourselves than we've ever meant, so that we could give what we have, if we have some greater purpose, if there's an ability to wake up to a mark of God, a universal purpose in all things, that anything at any time could be revealing of what God is, of what we are created. If this is true, then our feelings of depression and anxiety and anger and rage, loss, hopelessness, that these would somehow be of our choosing, if we have the ability to try on different ideas and paint an experience from a spiritual perspective, that this spiritual identification aligns us most directly with God, that from here perhaps we can understand with far more ease how we are created in the image of God, imbued with the same power to create. And from here, in this natural blessing of whatever it is that we are in this spiritual plane, from here, everything that we would be experiencing as a physical self connected to that spirit, from the view, the lens, the purview of the spiritual plane here. It could be true that absolutely everything, even though it feels distant from us in a physical body, but absolutely everything would be enveloped in the holiness of we, the spirits, connected directly to God, made of his mind, and therefore holy as well, creators as well. And here we exist in the physical plane, also creators. We exist. We have a mother and a father, and we have the ability to create on multiple levels. How exciting. So thank you for being here, being open to trying on ideas. It's only the 43rd day of our exploration of 365 days. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, or a state of miracle readiness. Miraculous, miracle readiness. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, or a state of miracle readiness. A miracle readiness state of mind. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, directly it means that the mind is ready, and therefore the state of its mind is miracle readiness. What I'm getting back is this is reflective of a state of mind beyond one where we have been assuming conscious control over some kind of order, over what miracles naturally order for us. That when we have conscious control over the miracle, or we become obsessed with the spectacle, the image making portion of it, we're playing with mere magic. If we can even see it that far. That miracle readiness must be on the other side of releasing this, I suppose, for true vision, for some humility, the willingness to enter into forgiveness, its vulnerabilities and its gifts. That miracle readiness is on the other side of noticing that perhaps we do not enjoy how we feel, and that we have, as I discussed yesterday when I first started meditating at all, that we actually do have some control, if we even want to use that term, some invitation to discover a feeling of peace or levity or happiness, timelessness, spaciousness within ourselves. And if we can discover this, we can ease our minds, lowering our total stress, healing perhaps even some symptoms that are flaring up for which we're outsourcing recommendations for creams and pills, that we have some ability to impact this at minimum. And so if we can admit that if we are able to see things a little bit differently, forgive ourselves and take it easy on ourselves, then some of the stuff that we were holding on to so tightly is able to relax, and we can have a great cry and begin to see ourselves differently. The present changes, the opportunity for the future starts to shape up. We feel new, but we are different for sure. If we are able to notice this practice, then we are not purely living underneath its propaganda, FUD, mind control. Just the idea that we keep seeing repeated illusions and advertisements in certain ways that keep us on some cycle where it's hard to even know that we would want to even reach higher than we currently are, or that we have the means to. And yet we're walking around with our mind the whole time. So miracle readiness must be on the other side of at least accepting the responsibility that we are interested in some deeper, richer, more fulfilling, loving way of living, of being. A quest for, exclaiming that it must be out there, right? And we discover that it is below our wounds, just been buried. So miracle readiness must be on the other side of curiosity, and on the other side, possibly, as we grow in awareness in this category, it must be on the other side of returning to our blindness, reaching back into control, believing that we have power with these illusions again, creating a false sense all over again and selling ourselves something that we are not, even though we are on the way to discovering this abundance, truth, and love and miracles. So miracle readiness is somewhere beyond us operating totally mindlessly, believing that because we think we know better. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, or a state of miracle readiness. A miraculous state of mind. So what? A sudden shift outside of the body? A loving state of mind? We were saying that our thoughts are miracles, that we are miracles. A miraculous state of mind. What? Some shift into ourselves, an acceptance of ourselves inside of our own minds, that we are something beyond only all of these beautiful processes that are giving us a body to explore life, to feel, to run, to dance, to sing, to sit, to do whatever, to problem solve, to create. Beautiful. But we are somehow more than that, that we have an imagination, that we are turning what we see in our mind's eye into reality, at least through some architecture or engineering or scientific sense, some materials sense, that we agree that we are using our minds, whatever it is that they are able to image make. And we have religions and other meditative practices suggesting that there's something else going on here. And we know that we have felt our intuition or notice someone's energy when they walk in the room, that there's something going on here, that we dream, but there's something else going on here. Perhaps miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, a miracle readiness state, because we are finally able and ready to see ourselves differently, to deny, I hope not to lose sight of entirely, but to deny our body identification and to affirm a spirit identification, that suddenly we are of the awareness, having used our thoughts as the cause, the effects immediately changing. We are of the awareness that we are, of course, connected directly to God, that we are literally in the perspective of our miracle ready state of mind, our miracle ready mind that is actively creating so well that we can exist as bodies and not even have to think about it once. It's actively creating the story that is most exciting to us, however we are intending it to take shape, even if we are unaware that we are in the middle of our own theatrical performance. And it is ours to still somewhat control, again, if we want to use that word. It is ours to participate in by, at any time, electing to take a step in the direction of true vision again, to stop building with illusions, having been lost in the story, and creating something that is antithetical to love and truth. Returning to see from the perspective of, oh, that's right. I can build with blessings. I can build with holiness. I already am. So may we wake up here to recognizing that we could be, from a spiritual perspective, inside of that heavenly space at all times. That God's molecules make up the dog and me and this light and the plant, the water I just drank, the ground that I'm sitting on. That fundamentally something is creating everything around us, or we're participating in some active creation of the same elements or ideas in different states of motion and combinations. We're somehow building like with ourselves. When I pass and I'm turned over with the mycelium and mites, the same ecosystem that I've been in will be building with me. There's something funny going on here. May we open our minds and accept that however we have been thinking it, that we're late, tired, upset, that this does not have to be the way of being unless we choose to. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Today's lesson, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. I am blessed as a son of God. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. If we are miracles, and the source of miracles is love, and we are now announcing that God is our source, if we are able to apply these things directly, then God would be love. He'd be the source of me, the source of miracles, that all miracles are expressions of love, and all expressions of love are maximal, even if they cannot be observed. That if there's an idea of God who is all-knowing, that he who is all-knowing, creating, would know absolutely every permutation of anything that could be when setting in motion, at least from a time and space perspective, setting in motion a chain of creations and experiences, all linked somehow through minds, funneling back up to God and his creation of these minds. That God, possibly love, is what you are made of, what I am made of. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Well, if God is also my strength and vision is his gift, and we know that it is a blessing to give and receive, that forgiving and loving offers strength to both the giver and the receiver. That if God is offering us strength and his source could be love, if he's building us out of strength and love, that feels very innately powerful. And somehow over here in the realm where we could be built out of strength and love, we are bending, breaking, reversing the laws of physics as we've declared them. That we fundamentally do not understand how such a system could have been built when viewing it from inside of the current system in which we find ourselves. And this system in which we find ourselves has some, but also has very poor, in general, measuring tools. Money, for example, 1/2 of almost all transactions is inflated. More of it is constantly created for more and more problems because we've created a system by which we can pretend that we can create money out of thin air. In my house, when I was growing up, I heard, "You think money grows on trees?" Smart ass me, of course, paper comes from trees. But of course, it is not that simple. And so, for measuring something in a measuring stick that is constantly telling us that it is stable, but is anything but, as more of it gets created, a more complex topic for a different day. We can easily see this in the fact that if you've been shopping for anything over 5 to 10, 20 plus years, you'll see that the prices rise. Or if you have a parent or grandparent, you can ask them, how much was ice cream when you were a kid? Or we can see it in the degradation of quality or sizings of things. That all of these are variable, which makes measuring our experience, looking for some idea of truth, a constant, very challenging in the one thing that we believe we are anchored to in order to facilitate expanding community and more opportunity. Speaking of money. In order for us to see differently, to recognize beyond just saying the words that there is another way of looking at this, we will have to believe that there is a way of measuring or viewing a different system from within our own system. God is my source. What if love is my source? If I am a miracle? The Creator is my source. I cannot see apart from him. What would that mean if I cannot see apart from him? That he and I are sharing some mind, or that the holiness that is supposedly enveloping everything around me is between wherever I am attempting to see and whatever it is that I am seeing. That I cannot see apart from God because he is my source. That he grants me vision. That's what he's designed for all of us. That God is my strength. He somehow is this process of miracles itself. And miracles require a miraculous state of mind. They require themselves. There's something happening here. There's something happening here. Perception is not an attribute of God. All right, I wasn't ready for that one. That God is not perceiving. His is the realm of knowledge. Yet he has created the Holy Spirit as the mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. Okay. So fundamentally, God is knowledge, creating our spirit, supposedly, right? From which we can perceive, if we identify here, where we are perfect, sinless, creators alike. We are the mind connected to God's mind. God is knowledge. We are a creator and a perceiver. And we've built this level here from which we are sharing this story. And if there was no link to God, we would simply be caught in perception only. We would not know knowledge or have a link to knowledge, or a means by which we could verify it. I suppose somehow in our minds, something that we could easily discount, even though we're being asked to trust an idea of our intuition that God will speak very directly to us, that there is some open line of communication when spirit becomes the center of our identification. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth. All right, God cannot perceive. He lives as knowledge. He created the Holy Spirit to mediate between that which perceives us, our spirit, and God, the knowledge. The function from the Holy Spirit's perspective, and I'm remembering that we did have some lessons in the past here, which I'll have to go review, I suppose, that the Holy Spirit is sorting our illusions from God's true creations, that it is some active player. So God, his knowledge creating the Holy Spirit, we're being told, is this mediator, which is delineating what is true and what we are imagining, what are our illusions. The mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge, that we are on some path to the truth, allowing our perception to change until we have a whole new perspective. The Holy Spirit's true function is to maintain this link to God and help us purify our perception into an understanding of knowledge. In God, you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. So rescoring that perception is not an attribute of God. His is the realm of knowledge. In God, you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. Yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, okay, perception has a mighty purpose. Salvation, which is our own responsibility with ourselves, is the undoing, atonement, forgiveness of what never was. It was always an illusion. We're simply wiping away, setting aside, undoing that which we have created out of illusion, which is easy to see from a perspective of truth. Perception then has a mighty purpose. Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of his holiness to his awareness. Okay, so we are the Son of God. We have been using this idea of perception. We've been using it unholily, creating illusions and sickness and death, lessons of pain in the world. And so it is through what we have created, stepping into that idea, feeling it, forgiving it, letting it go. It is the means of restoring, of recognizing, of remembering our holiness and bringing that into our awareness. Perception has no meaning. We're reminded of the idea of we've given all the meaning we can to everything around us, that everything we see is meaningless. Perception has no meaning, yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning very close to God's. So God creating this Holy Spirit as this mediator, we create perception in an unholy way, okay? The Holy Spirit comes with some action of redemption and creates meaning for our perception, which we've been using to create illusions, to see illusions. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself. Healed perception. Miracles have the ability to heal by transcending the body. By transcending our current level of perception, we can enter into a new way of perceiving that all of a sudden grants us permission where before we thought we needed to attack or defend, grants us permission to simply forgive. Perhaps that it is a recognition of some other truth, some other perception, a new perspective that makes it radically important for us, vital and natural for us to forgive. That we can simply see how we were living before and have nothing to say but, I'm sorry, please forgive me. You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. God goes with me wherever I go. Whatever you do in Him. That's interesting, pausing there already. In Him. That we are inside whatever it is that God is, no matter what we're doing. Whatever you do in Him, because whatever you think with His mind. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God. Okay, the Holy Spirit, it's giving meaning to our perception. It gives our perception a very close meaning to whatever God's meaning is for us. That the Holy Spirit is a mediator between perception and knowledge, between us and God, allowing us to maintain a connection to knowledge. And as we purify this perception, we enter into a realm of knowledge. That we are doing the perceiving, we are doing the seeing. There is no function of perception with God. It has no meaning. The function of the Holy Spirit, again, is to so change perception through its purification that it will lead to knowledge. Okay, so if vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, purifying our perception, linking perception and knowledge, separating falsehoods from truths. So vision is real to the degree to which it is in alignment with seeing the truth, with separating illusions from truth, seeing it very simply. Connecting, true vision, connecting is real to the degree to which it is able to connect perception, heal perception, purify perception, and connect it to the source of which we are, of knowledge. So vision is real to the degree that it mirrors whatever the Holy Spirit is trying to do, that we are stepping into viewing as the Holy Spirit, purifying ourselves and connecting to knowledge, being able to notice truth with absolute ease, to notice illusions for what they are, not real, for extending forgiveness, for undoing that which never was. Whatever you do in God. Because whatever you think, you are thinking with His mind. You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. 3 5-minute practice periods are required today. One as early and one as late as possible in the day. The third may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permit. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today to yourself with eyes open. So eyes open, you will say, God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. Please repeat after me. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. We'll say that with our eyes open. Mine were closed. After saying that a few times to yourself with the eyes open, God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. Then glance around you for a short time, applying the idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice period are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from Him. Although this part of the exercise period should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of practice indiscriminately, without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea again, and then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you add to the idea in your own personal way. Thoughts such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. So we're going to have a short phase where we're going to pick 4 to 5 things that we happen to notice randomly. We are going to state to ourselves that God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. So we cannot see that light apart from Him. We repeat the idea with our eyes open. Then we glance around, apply the idea specifically to what we see. We will close our eyes and repeat the idea again. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. We repeat this with our eyes closed. And then we will allow ourselves to say simply whatever shows up. Any relevant thoughts relevant to today's idea that we cannot see apart from God or that He is our source, such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, okay, but they should not be in opposition to it. So anything that we've been practicing that is not in opposition to today's idea would be fine. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of the thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes, repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to this first phase of the exercise as often as necessary to prevent this. All right. Okay. If we're thinking of things that do not relate to the idea that God is our source and we cannot see apart from him, or if our mind is wandering, or if it's completely stagnant, as soon as we catch ourselves, we're going to return to the beginning of the exercise. We open our eyes. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see apart from that ball, or more specifically, God is my source. I cannot see that ball apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see that hair tie apart from him. Then we will close our eyes. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. I see in a loving way. I am forgiving. And anything else that we can think of that naturally shows up. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember to tell them silently, God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. Okay, silently. I've been trying these on with a dog, so I don't try them on silently, and they are funny sometimes to direct at somebody. God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. I'll try this tomorrow. Maybe it's easy to do with someone that I know, but I will also try it with someone I do not know, possibly in the car. And I will say silently that God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. Today's idea should also be applied throughout the day to various situations. This form is equally applicable to strangers, okay, as it is to those you think are closer to you, okay. In fact, try not to make distinctions of any kind at all. So the same as selecting ideas indiscriminately. If we see somebody and we remember this phrase that God is my source and I cannot see you apart from him, that we should be applying it to wherever we're purchasing something, or anyone at the gas station, or someone we see at work or on a walk, or whoever's across the table from us if we're having dinner. Someone at the gym without staring, of course. Perhaps someone in our mind, but I believe our eyes are probably open as we're out in the world. Today's idea should also be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to those which seem to distress you in any way. For this purpose, apply the idea in this form. God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. Okay, so someone cuts us off in traffic. Now we're worked up instead of thinking about how we cannot see the person apart from him. we will simply say, God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. We are saying that God is intertwined in absolutely everything that we are seeing. We cannot see apart from him. If no particular subject presents itself to your awareness at the time, merely repeat the idea in its original form. Try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea, and thus remembering your function. Our function, to see, imbued by God. We have vision with God. Our mind is God's mind. We are in him. We cannot be apart from God. So we cannot see apart from God. He is our source, our strength, and vision is his gift. Okay? Whew. 3 5-minute practice periods, beginning with eyes open. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Scanning the room. Pick 3 to 5 things. God is my source. I cannot see these slippers apart from him. Closing your eyes. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Letting any relevant thoughts come forward. If they do, I am of God's light. God's light can be seen in everything around me. And if our minds wander, if we're finding incongruent thoughts, or if our minds are blank, we will start the exercise over. Open our eyes and repeat, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him, and work our way back to eyes closed. This will be complete after 5 minutes. And then anytime, as many times as we may remember, if we see someone, God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him, probably in our minds. Or I suppose if we're driving and we see something, God is my source. I cannot see this stoplight apart from him. Or if the stoplight will never change and we're late and we enter into a hurried state of mind, we will say, God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. Or if we're just sitting at that stoplight and our minds are blank or wandering, no particular subject is presenting itself to our awareness at that time, but we have the idea in our mind, we can simply say, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. If we can remember to do this, we are remembering to do our function. That our purpose is to see in alignment with God, to move from perception to knowledge, married together by the Holy Spirit, by seeing in a true form of vision that is in alignment with the Holy Spirit, where we can see with simple delineation what is false and what is true, that we have been living in a perception, building with false things. We want to be seeing life from a perspective where we are building in truth, where knowledge exists, where when we create, we are building more abundance because we are creating with the real. It's exciting, actually, to allow ourselves to understand our function, our purpose, to recognize very simply that our holiness envelops everything that we see, that we are never alone. We are always in love and of love. We are in endless abundance in this lens. We are perfect. We are perfectly safe. We know peace. We have freedom from worry. We are divinely connected to God and in direct communication. perceiving in a purer way, a function that God has created us for, as He maybe cannot perceive. That we must accept the gift of sight because we are of the purpose, the function in this order of perceiving, of creating and seeing. That our vision is true so long as it is assigned to the same role as the Holy Spirit. That there is something miraculous about what our function is, to perceive and to know. Wow. Perception and knowledge. I am blessed as a son of God. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is His gift. I am Kesten Rono. God is my source. And I cannot see apart from Him. I cannot see you apart from Him tomorrow for day 44 of A Course in Miracles. Be well, and please practice with devotion and intention. May we feel the blessing of strength and love in uniting with our function, our true purpose. Peace.